If you've been looking for a workflow to include DxO PureRAW 6 and Luminar Neo together, then this video is for you. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how you can get the best out of both programs in the most seamless way possible. If that's something you're interested in, then stay tuned. Now, of course, if you'd like to pick up any of the programs that I show here today, there's going to be links and coupon codes down in the description box below. Those are affiliate links and affiliate coupons, which means I make a commission from everyone who uses it. However, that's at no extra cost to you. I'll also make you aware that depending on when you're watching this particular video, there are some sales going on with Luminar Neo and DxO programs. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and check those links out in the description box, and let's go ahead and jump into the computer. So here we are inside of the computer, and we have DxO PureRAW 6 opened up. Now, on my second monitor, I actually have a folder of images that I could throw in here and start working. Now, you'll notice that I'm not inside of Luminar Neo yet. And the reason for that is it's better to work with your version of your file browser, depending on if you're on a Mac or a Windows, before you open the images inside of Luminar Neo. This is just going to make it that much easier. And again, I'm trying to show you the seamless method. And so all you have to do is click, drag, and drop. And it's that simple. Now, when you drop your images into DxO PureRAW 6, this is probably one of the reasons that people lean towards using DxO software is if you don't have a particular DxO module already installed on your computer, it's going to ask you, do you want to download that? Now, you can make the choice to not download it, but I always download them because it makes the images look that much better. To download the DxO modules, it's really simple. You just select the little bubble that's next to the appropriate lens and camera combination that you use, and then you click save. It's going to download really quick, and it's a small file that saves to your computer. So every time that you open up DxO software, it's always going to apply that for you so you have the best image and optical quality. What I'm going to do after I have that downloaded, I'm going to click on our image, and then I'm going to come down to process with preview. This is my favorite way of working, especially when I have a single image, just so that way I know that I'm going to get the output that I'm looking for. But of course, if you wanted to, you could just click on process and it will give you a dialog box, but you're not really going to know what is going to come out of that particular process. And so this is the reason why I like the process with preview option. You can use whichever method you want. It doesn't really make a huge difference for this workflow. There's one piece at the output that really does matter, and so pay attention for that. Now, I'm not going to do a deep dive into how to remove all of the noise. I'll do a separate video for that. I just want to show the workflow of getting your image from PureRAW 6 into Luminar Neo. And so what I'm going to do is come up here to the upper right, and I'm going to click on the bottom icon for output settings. This is where all of the important things really matter for this workflow. The first one, if you want to stay completely raw, you want to click on the DNG option, and specifically for Luminar Neo, you want to make sure that this box is marked as uncompressed. If you decide to use the high fidelity compression, it may not render as a raw file inside of Luminar Neo, and then you'll have to come back into DxO PureRAW 6 in order to render that image again as an uncompressed file. Yes, you will get a larger file, but that's just going to give you more information to work with, and ultimately the ability to work in a true raw workflow. And so once that's done, you'll select the folder that you want to put your image into. Now, for me, my personal preference, you can choose your own organization method, but my own personal preference is to select the original folder section, which is going to be the default option. And then I like to put my final version into a subfolder. You do that by checking the block here that says put in subfolder, and then you can rename this portion to whatever you want, or this folder. I like to say noise reduced or DxO PureRAW, something of the sort, but it's only going to live inside of this original folder. So just keep that in mind. All right. Now, once all that's done, you can come down here and change the file name to your heart's content if you so choose, but I typically just go with the default, which is file name and then DxO deep prime. That's all that I find that I really need. And then I'll come down here and click on process now. Now, if for whatever reason process now is grayed out, you probably don't have a blue check mark on the image that's down here. And if you had multiple images down here, for all of the photos that you would like to export, you need to make sure that you have a blue check mark inside of that upper right corner. Because if you don't, it's not going to export or add it to the queue. But you can see now that I have this turned off, I can't click the process now. But if I come over here and check that blue check mark or that space, I can come over here and click process now. And DxO PureRAW is going to start rendering that file. And you can see down here in the bottom of DxO PureRAW the number of files that it's on with the amount that's remaining. Since there was only one photo here, it went really, really quick. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click Go to Finder on this particular image. So that way we can see it here in the Finder window. Once that's done and you have your Finder window pulled up, you can go ahead and close or minimize DxO PureRAW because you don't need it anymore for this particular workflow. Now, in the background, you can see I have the Luminar Neo program running. And this portion is really straightforward. If you use Luminar Neo, then you know how to get files into Luminar. But if you need a refresher, then I'll go ahead and show you how I personally like to do it. So I'm going to come over here to folders. I'm going to hit this blue, or not blue, I'm going to hit this plus mark. And this is going to give me the ability to search my computer for those files that I already had. And so what I'm going to do is just hit Command Tab so I can get access to the folder here. Now, this is like a power tip on Mac computers. I don't think this works for PC. And so you will have to navigate to your files on PC. However, if you are a Mac user, did you know that if you come over to your Finder and you're browsing somewhere, you can literally just click the item that you want that browser to go and find, and then you can click and drop it. And now it's navigated me to that folder. I didn't have to go click through a number of folders. And so I use that very, very often. It comes in handy. And then I'm just going to click Add Folder. Luminar Neo is going to go and pull that image in, and you'll notice now we have the DxO Deep Prime XD3 file that we just rendered. And if I click on Edit, you can see that I now have the raw capability to go ahead and start working on editing this image. So that's the simplest workflow that I have found. And again, you can batch process your raw files inside of DxO PureRAW 6 and then just attach that folder to Luminar Neo and then you edit like normal. The biggest takeaway that I can give for Luminar Neo users as of right now in summer 2026 is to use the uncompressed version of the DNG when you're exporting from PureRAW 6. That if you use the high fidelity compression, you are running the risk of not having a raw file. And I can understand the frustration if you ran 400 images through PureRAW to only find out that you're not actually working with a raw file when you get into Luminar Neo. So hopefully you found some value in this video. If you did, smash the like button. I'd love to hear your questions down below. Don't forget, if you'd like to pick up Luminar Neo or DxO PureRAW 6, you can do so using the links and coupon codes in the description box below. I do make a commission from everyone who uses those. However, you get to save money and it's a win-win and a great way of supporting the channel. Now, if you'd like someone to help you develop your workflow using any photo editing software, Luminar Neo or PureRAW 6, then consider signing up for a training call with me. A link for that is down in the description box below, and I'll help you develop whatever workflow you need help with in order to get your processing time down so you can get back to creating more. If that's something you're interested in, you let me know. Until next time, I want you to stay inspired and keep creating. Peace.